All right, well, good evening from Italy. It's about going on 9 p.m. local time here. We're at the finish line of the 2012 IAU 100k World Championships. I'm standing next to some very fast women right now. This is Team USA, who just took gold and as a team, and who finished first, fourth, and fifth. This is Amy Sproston, Meghan Arbogast, and Pam Smith. Ladies, how the heck are you doing?
Yay! Excited!
Well, I guess that's the right answer. You probably shouldn't say that you're upset with any of your results at this point.
No, a little shocked. But
A little bit shocked?
Yeah.
Shocked and happy.
shocked and happy. Yeah, big PRs for everybody.
Well, let's start with the team finish and the team dynamic on the day. As you guys went into this race, did you possess any strategy for how you're going to tackle this to try to go for gold?
I think it's kind of funny. Amy and I planned on running together early, and
Which you did. I saw you together for a long, long time.
2 loops, first 40K, and we had talked about not going, you know, like 7:15 pace. Well, we were 7:05 pace through the first 40K, and then
We kept talking about slowing down, but
and we just kept like surging, fading, and then I went ahead in the 3rd lap, and I was pushing it pretty hard, but I felt great.
she was hitting some like 6:35s.
Was I?
During the 3rd lap.
Yeah.
But my 3rd lap was about like the first 2, but I knew Amy wasn't that far back.
And I was trying to hang with you, and I couldn't. So.
But I shot my wrong. Whatever. So that was kind of our approach, was to run together as long as we could, and then just Amy's time goal was a little different than mine. So it made sense for me to pull ahead, kind of like I wanted to do a certain, you know, I was shooting for sub to 740.
Okay.
So I was kind of after that. And then
Yeah, I had planned ahead of time to run with Carolyn Smith because
Okay.
I like to start a little bit more conservatively and kind of go for a more even split. And I felt like I kind of got sucked into the Winchoten start last year, and everybody went out very fast. And so we started out slowly in 720s.
Slow 720s, you know?
Yeah, so I ran with her for about 12K. And then she felt that it was a little bit, she was pushing it a little bit too much, and I pulled ahead at that point and pretty much ran the rest of the race by myself.
By yourself?
You know, I'd catch up to guys now and then for the most part and kind of run, you know, a couple 100 meters with them, but we're not really supposed to be running with them, so I'd either try to pass them or pull off to the side pretty quickly. So.
And do your own thing.
Yeah.
Aw.
Which is really challenging when all the men around you are... Everyone around you is pretty much men, and you can't run with them, so it makes it really, like, I yelled at the Andorra guy a couple of times, and I finally switched into Spanish, and I'm like, leave me alone. Like, you cannot run with me, and if there's a problem, like, I'll claim that I told you several times that,
Yeah,
like, please don't run
I think
with me.
the men kind of like to have somebody else to pace with as well, so they kind of glom on to
So
that.
just to clarify, that's an IAU rule.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can't
they're
pace off
supposed
of
to be
men.
2 completely separate races, and so technically we're not in the same race with them, and so we're not supposed to be running with them.
And that's
Got it.
really to get at teams where, say, if Andorra had, you know, 3 men and 3 women, and one of the men was having a bad day, he could decide, well, I can run with one of the Andorra women and help her, because slowing down would be her pace, and essentially pace his own teammate in for a good finish. But we run into our men from other teams who they just want to run with somebody, and they'll run with us. So like, it's okay. Like, you know, you can say you can run behind me, but don't run in front of me. But that's okay. And I think it's really, no one's going to say anything if it's another team. But that's kind of, we try to
Stick
Probably,
to the rules, stick
if-
to your guns,
yeah.
do your thing.
Yeah, it probably doesn't become a problem unless you're running like 2 or 3, you know, laps with them or
Right.
something. You know,
And that's when I
couple-
started to get
like-
worried, was when it, like, he kept slowing down and speeding up with me, and I was like, you know.
It's time for us to break up.
Yeah. You're a nice guy, you know, but
I know you like to follow me when I'm wearing my Spanx and all. But hey.
Exactly.
Well, let me ask just one last question about sort of the team dynamic. Were you getting any reports from your crew as to where everybody was, where other girls were, or were you just pretty much doing your own thing, trying to be independent and let the results just shine through?
I
knew where Meghan was, but besides that,
Yeah, and that's basically what you say is only how far ahead someone is.
Yeah.
So I wasn't getting any. But there was one little turnaround, one very short dog leg, and I saw Amy on both of those. And the second time I saw her, she was even closer. And then when I hit the wall, she just came trotting up.
Yeah, and I didn't know exactly what place that I was in, but the team had let us know. I think it was pretty like the third lap or so that we were in gold medal position. We just needed to hold on. So
be chill, be cool.
Yeah, I think it was pressure on me. Like, Pam, don't choke because your other two teammates are doing really well.
Don't hit your head and have a concussion. Don't like swallow a piece of candy and choke. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe they only told me that.
No, actually, it was really nice because when I hit my wall, and I struggled for a long time, and I came into the last aid station, and I asked for some Coke, which did revive me, and Lynn said, stand there, go for the gold. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, this is a team thing. I gotta go. So that was good. That was
There's
helpful.
definitely some internal motivation and some external motivation.
Yes.
Well, and I would say that our motivation is for team gold, so we're not necessarily thinking about individual places. We're running as fast as we can for the team.
Got it.
Yeah, because they do score us on times.
Got it. So let's talk for a moment about each of your individual races. Each of you personal bested by, like, I can say this on I Run Far, a shitload today. Right? So your personal best was by how many minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Your personal best today was?
Almost 11.
Almost 11 minutes. And your personal best today, Amy Sproston, was?
36 minutes.
Woohoo! Wow. Yeah. Wow. So take us through the last 20K of the race, because we saw a huge shift in terms of the two of you coming through pretty close together with Sweden's Kaja. And then we got a lot of rumors, both from organizations and little text messages going on the course, and I'm not sure exactly what went down. So take us through the last 20K of your race.
Yeah, I was... At some point, Meghan and I, most of the day, were in 4th and 5th, and so a couple of women had dropped, and so I started hearing that I was in 3rd, and I wasn't far behind Meghan, but I was definitely, she was in eyesight, but not super close. And then as we got past the 10K in the last 20K.
So 90K.
So 90K. Yeah, I just kind of started to reel, like
it was hard to reel me in. Woof!
Yeah, my pace wasn't necessarily increasing, but they were coming back to me a little bit, and I was a little nervous to pass, because again, I would never expect to be in first place, and so I was a little intimidated to actually make that move, but they came back enough that I was like, well, you might as well go for it, because it's a cool position to be in, although a little scary.
Oh gosh, yeah, I guess I'll step into first now.
Yeah. So I finally passed Meghan around like 9K, 8.5K to go, and then passed Sweden right at the 8K, so 5 miles to go. I passed her, and I tried to make kind of an aggressive move to put some distance.
Okay.
So
during that last little bit, were you looking over your shoulder, or were you just running like heck?
I really didn't look over my shoulder. On the turnaround, I could see that no one was in the turnaround with me, so I knew I had like a minute or so. And then I started, and the motorcycle stayed with Sweden and Meghan.
Yeah.
I think it was more of an exhaust issue in terms of...
with Sweden, I was way off the back.
Yeah, and so I didn't have the lead motorcycle with me, but when we got onto the last 2K, I could kind of look. It's a loop around the lawn, so you can kind of look back and see where someone is. I could tell she was at least a minute or so behind still, because I could see the motorcycle.
Okay, so you knew you had a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, and it wasn't a kick to the finish. It was more like, just survive. You're far enough ahead that
this is going to be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
All right. And what about you? What about your race? Walk us through the last 20K.
My first 3 laps were under an hour and a half, and I was pretty stoked. And the 4th lap was like, okay, just be zen. Just run it, get through it. It's probably going to be a little slower. It's kind of painful, and I did a 1:33. But okay, in the last lap, run hard. And I did, starting with 20K to go, which was a little too soon. But soon I could see the Swedish woman, and so I was thinking, well, do I pass her? Yes, but make sure that when you pass her, you're ready to pass her and
be past her,
right, and be like make it assertive. And I didn't last very long.
It was a good surge, and then the power went out.
And then I passed her, and then I just about passed out. So kind of shot my wad.
Okay.
But that was fine. You know, it was kind of cool. I decided to go for it after thinking about it, like you did. I was like, do I really? I don't know. That's kind of scary to be out there, but come on, just go for it. So she passed me back shortly after that.
Okay.
And then I was just probably going 10-minute pace, thinking I might be laying down on the sidewalk any minute now. And it wasn't like a bonk; it was more like a wooze. And then I could hear Amy coming up. Like, oh yes. And so she passed me. I'm like, you got it, Amy. You go get her. And then the Russian woman passed me like I was kind of standing still anyway. So I was doing all these things in my head, like, am I going to finish? And what's my time going to be? And blah, blah, blah. But then when I had 5K to go and I stopped at the aid station, I said, I need some Coke. I just bonked, but the Coke totally helped. But then Lynn saying, we got to go for the gold. I'm like, oh, that's right.
We got to go for the gold.
Yeah, and actually I had a nice finish. The last 4K were actually pretty good, and I had a strong kick to the finish. So that was nice. I didn't look ugly coming in.
So your last 4K was sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
So just in case Coke is looking to expand their
IronFur.com.
Meghan Arbogast. But all's well, I guess, that ends well, and maybe the day wasn't perfect. Maybe the last 20K wasn't perfect, but you ended.
Well, in a way, it kind of was. I mean, you make these mistakes, and it just adds to your experience and a lesson learned and what to do next time. So it's kind of perfect.
And you came off with a personal best, and you also came off with a massive new world record for the women's 50 to 59 age group, which is just outstanding. I would like to be half as just outstanding as Meghan when I'm 51. So
there's time.
There's always time. Always time. Pam, walk us through your race.
Okay. I mean, I knew from some of the Italians on the course that were just kind of holding up fingers and stuff that I was somewhere 7th, 8th, 9th. Yeah, I wasn't getting consistent reports, but I was pretty sure I was in the top 10.
Okay.
And then at the last aid station that was manned, which was about 4.5 kilometers to go, our people at the aid station actually all held up the fingers and said, you're fourth, we've got the gold medal locked up, you're fourth though. And I knew Amy and Meghan were ahead of me, and so and they said, she's 1 minute in front of you.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, holy crap, if I catch this girl, we're going to sweep the podium. And so on the out and back, I saw her, which was just before the 3K to go mark.
Okay.
And so I saw her, and I was like, she doesn't look that good, and it was a Hungarian woman, and so I passed her right before the 1K to go mark, and just passed her. She had a guy on a bike, giving her the lowdown that I was coming. And
watch out!
So I passed her, and I was just totally stoked, and I'm just giving it my all, like really, I'm like giving it everything I can, because I'm like, I want that third place. This is awesome. And then
you think you're coming down in third?
I did. Aww. And then I crossed the line, and they're like, you're fifth. And I was like, I was still really excited by the result and everything, but it wasn't quite what I had.
That's what South Korea is going to be, right?
Yeah. So I mean, still a great day for me, and I definitely laid it on the line in the last 2 kilometers there, which was nice, because to dig really deep when all you want to do is stop, I felt good about that. But and I mean, I knew coming in, and like I said, I think I knew the 3rd lap or so that we were in gold medal position. So I knew there was some pressure being the 3rd person on that team to just hang on, stay there, and I was pretty solid for the day. So that part was good.
One last question on your race. Did that, knowing that you kind of were the last, not last, but the other spoke to the wheel, did that make you run a little bit more conservatively within yourself so that there wasn't anything major that happened on your part?
Actually, I think kind of the opposite, because I was like, I don't want to be like so conservative that like somebody comes and passes us for the gold. Like I want to make sure that I'm really giving it everything that I have, so that like it, because if we lost it, being the 3rd scorer, it would kind of feel like it was my fault. And so, I was was trying to go, and I was
brought out
definitely,
the bag.
and I also knew I was kind of flirting with that 745, which for me was kind of a big barrier, and so I definitely wanted to be under that too.
Well, you surpassed that barrier. You brought yourself home a new personal best, and the three of you collectively some pretty sweet personal rankings as well as team gold. Inside this building right here, they're getting ready to award you guys your individual medals as well as your team medals. So congratulations to each of you.
Thank you, Megan. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I'm just proud to be standing next to three tough girls like you. So on behalf of the folks at I Run Far, congratulations, Team USA.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Megan.
All right, see ya.